Hello everybody. I've decided I'm going to take this the RJ58, continue on with the restoration on this. I went ahead and pulled the wheels off of it, got the mower deck off, the hood, steering wheel, all that. I was looking at the mower deck. It's in pretty bad shape. The sides are blown out. I'm going to have to give that some attention. But yeah, I'm going to continue on with this. I'm going to get the 5-horse Briggs, try to get it running on its own without having to feed it fuel through a bottle. I'm going to see if I can get that carb where it'll run off of the gas tank. The fuel that's in it is nasty. It's got that rotten old fuel smell. But if you've seen my previous video, you'll know that I have a Kohler, original Kohler 4-horse that came on this. I'm going to get it running also, but I want to get this thing up, and if I decide not to use this motor, I'll be able to put it on the shelf. No, I got a good motor, good extra motor. So anyway, I'm going to take the carb off, take it apart, clean it, see if it'll run on its own. There's 2 bolts there for the intake, and the linkage, I don't know if I'm going to lose focus, but that linkage there goes down and attaches to the governor. I'm going to pull all this off as one. The gas tank is of course attached to the carburetor. I think it's a little easier doing that because if you, there again, if you saw my previous video, there's a rod, not a rod, a pickup tube that goes down into the gas tank from this. And if I take off these 2 bolts, I can't pull this out enough, really, I don't think, to get this linkage out. So I think it's easier just to pull the tank off. Tank's gonna have to come off anyway to get cleaned out. It's got old rotten fuel in it. There's a bolt down here where it's attached to the motor, and that attaches the bracket that has all the throttle linkage on it, and that attaches to the bottom of the tank. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and then I'll bring you back as soon as I get those bolts out and get the thing off. I'll get the carb over on the bench. I'll be right back. Okay, I got the carb off, gas tank off, all one unit. Here's where the throttle cable goes, and back there throttle spring goes on that side, and so looks like somebody's definitely been here before us. There's Phillips standard. This is the crankcase breather. Inside of the tank, I know there's old fuel in it a little bit. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that or not. A little rusty down in there. I don't think you can see it, but that's a little rusty. There is some old fuel in there. So let's get the carb off and take a look at that and see what kind of shape that's in. Okay, let's see what we got here. looks like just 3 holding it on there. Let me see if we can get it loose here. Try not to tear the gaskets. I've got a rebuild kit coming for this. I hope it's the right one. But until it gets here, we'll try to reuse the old ones so we can see if it runs. There we go. So, as you can see, here is the pickup that goes from the tank, and it draws from here and drops it into a little chamber where it picks up the fuel from here. And that's the way these carbs work. I don't know if you can't see down in the tank. Let me see if I can see it. Yeah, there's a little chamber down there. That's where the fuel sits. It picks it up from there and takes it through the carb and dumps fuel into this chamber, and that's where this little tube right there picks up fuel from to run the motor. So it draws from here, and man, look at the crap on the end of that. I'm sure that's not going to do it any good. That one looks pretty good there. So yeah, let's see what kind of fuel we got in here. I'm sure that's going to be tasty. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, look at that. It's almost can't see it in the video, but man, that looks like red. And it smells like, ugh, it smells nasty. So we'll have to address that tank. I've heard people use different things to clean these gas tanks. Vinegar, uric acid. I don't know. I've tried to use vinegar before on something. It really wasn't all that good to me, but I don't know. This is the crankcase breather. This thing looks like it's crimped on by a little clip here. See if we can't get that gasket off. See if we can get that gasket off of here. Not destroying it too much. it's pretty much gone. So there's that. Here's the choke. Let me see if I can't clean this up a little bit. I'm going to warm up the ultrasonic cleaner because it's going to need a bath for sure. So let me get that cleaned up and then we'll get her apart, get her in there, give it a bath. Okay, I cleaned that up a little bit. Let's go ahead and get it apart. See what we got. This is the fuel pump part of it here. My other video, I tried to explain that a little bit. Don't know if I actually explained it or made it worse. So let's see if we can get that cover off. There we go. So here's what I was talking about on the other video. This is the fuel pump part of it. So this pulsates, draws fuel in, and these little flaps open and close as the motor runs to let fuel in. Let fuel in, like pulsates back and forth like that. So that's the fuel pump part of it. And a lot of times what happens with these is that this will get real hard and it won't let it pulsate. In the same way with these ears, they'll get stiff and brittle, and it won't let it run. This actually doesn't feel too bad. So let's see if we can't get that off. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. It actually feels a little bit hard, but not as bad as I've seen some of them. So, but anyway, that's the fuel pump part of it. And underneath the big part of that, there's a spring under here, a little cap and a spring. So, get that apart. Get this out of here. Leave the air fuel mix. Yeah. Little gasket and needle. Needle looks pretty good actually. Yeah, I'm not not even going to give that part of it a bath. There's a little metal gasket and a little rubber one under that. I don't think that needs cleaned. That actually looks really clean to me. There's the main under here. Get that off. Give that a bath. What else? Yeah, as you can see, there's really not a whole lot to these. Not a whole lot to them. Yeah. We got, I think that's it. Nothing else. Man, that fuel stinks. Oof. Yeah. Seems to be it. I think we'll just give this thing a little bath. And get this rubber off of here. I don't know, some of this ultrasonic cleaner, the one I have, doesn't seem to affect rubber too much, but I don't want it to, just in case, to distort the rubber. Let's get this thing in the bath over here. Been heating up. It's really not. It's not too warm yet, but it'll be good. Let's get this thing in the bath. See if it'll fit. Not really. I don't want to pull that tube off. I've tried doing that before. Maybe we'll give that a bath and then we'll flip it over and clean the other side. So let's leave that there. Just kind of set the lid on. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. So these ultrasonic cleaners are awesome for the carburetors and metal pieces like that. Yeah, I wouldn't be without one, honestly, right now. That's a Harbor Freight version ultrasonic cleaner. It's okay. I mean, wish I would have got a bigger one now. But no, it's okay. It works pretty good. Gets things really clean. I've cleaned several carburetors with it, and it does an amazing job, honestly. So let me soak that, and I'll bring you back. So it's been a couple days. I got the carb cleaned in the ultrasonic cleaner. There again, did a great job on it. All cleaned up. I've seen on some of these that, I think it's more on the newer ones, I don't know, but on some of them there's a main jet under here. I don't think that's the case on this one. There doesn't seem to be anything on that one. I think it just uses this as the main. So I think so. I got a carb kit in, got the new fuel pump right here. I think these are made for a few different carbs maybe, but this one will work for this one. It's got an extra tab right here, different than the old one, but that sticks out the side of the plate right here, so that won't hurt anything. And all the other gaskets that come with it, think it's like I said, for different carburetors. This got a extra hole right here than this one does. No, there's no hole here, but there again, that's okay. There's nothing underneath of it, so as long as our holes that we have here match up with the old one, which they do. So it looks like it's made for different carbs, but it comes with new jets, gaskets, I should say needle and seat. There's one thing I think I misspoke on, was the vinegar. I said I hadn't had much success with it. I got online and I had a plastic white steering wheel. Got on there, it said that you could make it white again using vinegar and lemon juice and maybe baking soda or something. Anyway, I tried that, didn't really work. But I had a friend of mine that soaked his gas tanks in vinegar and did pretty good. I have had this gas tank soaking for 2 days in vinegar. I emptied it yesterday and it was doing a good job. There's still some on the rust on the very bottom of it, but you could tell where it was eating the rust away, where it wasn't very thick. So let me empty that, get it blown out, see where we're at, and then we'll put the carb back together. So I emptied all the vinegar out of that. It's been soaking for 2 days. The rust that was in it, pretty bad. It was just thick, and I don't know if you can see. I don't think you can. Still rusty, but it's not that bad. It's just kind of surface rust at this point. You can see it cleaned that up pretty good. That was completely brown before. Like I said, there's still, I can see metal on the bottom, and you can't, but let's see if I can get you to. Yeah, I don't think you can see that. But anyway, it's better. Still rusty, but yet there's nothing gonna flake off. I can see metal, so it's still kind of brown looking, but it didn't get it all the way down, but it didn't do a bad job. So anyway, we're gonna go with that. I gotta let that dry out. I think we can get the carb back together though. Okay, let's get the carb back together there. So the spring goes here. Apologize for my hands getting in the way also. See if I can make you see the best you can. The new fuel pump should be all there is to that. the main. This kit came with a new main or air fuel mixture screw. Typical with Chinese shit. The needle and seat threads are kind of messed up on it a little bit. I think I can get them worked in, but these look pretty good. Nice and clean. There's no corrosion on them, anything like that. The seat down there seemed to be pretty good. We're just going to use the old one. So that in there. Oops. Got the gasket. We'll use the new gasket. It's amazing. Sometimes you get by the, I bought Chinese replacement carburetors for things. And sometimes, man, they'll work great. Other times, it doesn't match just right, or I don't know. But, you know, they're cheap. So I guess that's one good thing about it. So typically, I'll start out usually at about 1.5. 1.5. I start there usually and tweak it from there. This top cap went on there also. Clean that up a bit. I did clean up around the gas tank too, around where this all fits. I don't want any more crap than we already have down in there. Okay. All right, that's ready to go back on. The new gasket here. Let go like that. Like I said, there's an extra hole right here that I didn't have on the old one, but there's nothing underneath of it. It won't do anything. But all the other holes line up good, so we're going to go with that. So next we'll just mount it on the fuel tank as soon as it dries. Okay, so I got the carb all mounted back on. Everything looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and mount that back on the motor and see what we get. Okay, got everything mounted back up. The 2 bolts there. There was the linkage right here. That back on. There was a governor spring down there I had to hook up right in the bottom. Other than that, I put fuel in it. Let's put a little bit down the throat of it and prime it a little bit and see what we get. See if we can get it running. See where the throttle is. About half. Put some fuel down it, prime it. A little bit. Let's go with choke. See what we get. No choke. All right. Let's choke it again. It's got to take a minute for that fuel to come up through the tubes and fill that little chamber I was talking about. Let's see if we give choke and maybe pull some fuel up in it. Choke it again. Air fuel mix. We'll run it in until it starts to die. Back it out. There we go. That actually sounds really good. See if we can get it to idle. Oh, I hit the stop on it. That actually sounds really good. Let's see if we see if we can get it started again. Yeah, somebody's got the idle turned up on it. Well, that actually turns out runs really well. If I decide to use this, I will clean it up, but I would consider that a success. All right, well, it seems like it runs pretty good. Yeah. So what I'll do if I decide to use this motor or not, if I use it on this tractor, I'll take all the tins off of this, take the tank back off, clean up everything all around it, and I'll usually tape these off. I like to use the original decals if I can, and I'll paint that all up real nice, and you know, try to get all the rust off of it and make it look like new again. But yeah, I think it runs out pretty good. Hey, I thank you for hanging out with me, and looks like we got it running pretty good, and that motor actually sounds good, doesn't tick or so. Well, thank you very much for watching, and you guys have a great day. Bye.